Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so what are we calling this? This is the AI in the next generation, right? That's you guys. So equipping students for a revolutionized job market. Um, okay, sounds very exciting, but what is the program about and what are we looking to do? Right? Now, I don't know if you know, heard of Qualitas. Have you looked up the
Yes,
website?
yes,
Have you done some
yes, sir.
research? Yeah, all of you.
Yes.
So maybe everyone can each of you take, I don't know, 20 seconds and tell me what do you think Qualitas does? Any idea?
As far as I can tell, you guys make robotic devices for manufacturing lines. I saw about the product called Eagle Eye, and in Eagle Eye, I think there are three steps. Where the first step is that you guys capture images, and then the second step is you feed it into a ML model, and then it gets trained, and it
Sure.
can also be stored in
Yeah.
some sort of cloud, and you can
Yeah,
basically
10
train
seconds, 10
your
seconds. I just want a 10, 20-second
yeah,
description, whatever. So that's
Uh,
fine. So we automate visual inspection. What
yes.
about Harshit, Sakshi? Any?
So
yes, sir.
basically,
Qualitas
you are
basically uh,
Go ahead,
you
Harshit.
guys provide an automated solutions to products, sir. And I saw many of your success stories and all those things were mentioned in the website, sir. What all successes were done, like for example, cylinder barcode generator, where you can using the barcode even for different engines and many of the products using light to
Sure. What about you, Sakshi?
you guys provide AI services like computer vision, how you can detect using object detection models and image
Yeah.
classification, feature extraction models.
Sure. So
and
good. Okay. So you have a basic background. I think all of you have seen it. You're just not able to maybe because what you see what I asked you. I asked you to summarize something in 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It's hard, right? But these are some of the things that we we want to go into in this fellowship. It's not only about AI and ML, but it's also about how you communicate, how some of the soft skills and things like that, right? How you give presentations. So that's why I made it a little bit more interactive. But okay, so let me tell you about Qualitas. So we provide visual inspection solutions for manufacturing companies. That means basically using computer vision and AI to automate certain things in manufacturing, right? Quality control, robotic guidance, um, any kind of process automation, which requires a visual input, right? So whatever cameras can see, we provide the intelligence to the camera to be able to take appropriate actions. So been doing this for about 15 years. Little bit about me. So I'm also a Bangalore University. I did my engineering ENC like Rishit and I think who else is ENC? Only Rishit, right?
I should
Yeah, Harshit
yes,
also. Okay. And but I was always interested in computer science. So even though, and uh, then I did my master's in the US, then I did various startups. I got a scholarship, then I worked in Microsoft for a number of years, and then um, I did a few startups then, but then 2008 we founded Qualitas, that is back in the US. And then 2011, 10, 12 years ago, I came back and I run Qualitas here. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Qualitas and my background, all that is fine. But what is more interesting is really the fact that AI is right now at warp speed in terms of development, right? And so if you look at, you know, basically what I'm calling 1 years of innovation in a day, right? So what used to take 1 year to evolve and develop in the last 100 years, for instance, is now being done with 1 day. The pace of innovation is basically, 100 years, 1 years of innovation, which is now possible within a day. That's the point, right? And that's exciting, and that's happening because of the underlying technology that has already been developed, which is AI. Because the reason all of you have already done projects in AI. 5 years ago, that would not have been possible. You would not have been able to do these projects. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Even though you have the interest, it would not. And what has changed? Why is that you're able to build a chatbot so quickly? Why is it that you're able to do a PDF chat? It's because all the APIs exist. It's very easy to do.
Yes, sir.
It's because of underlying technology, right? And so it's moving in this manner, like this accelerated manner. Now, the second thing is that AI is everywhere. Any industry you take, these are some of the industry use cases: healthcare, real estate, military, tourism, agriculture. It's not about computer science and writing APIs and tuning models. Those days are gone. It's how do you take this technology and apply it to customer service, to banking, to transportation, to human resources, to any industry or field, and it's possible to do, right? But probably what is missing is you don't know what problems to solve. You don't know that this is the right problem to solve. This can add value. See, I was asking Harshit, you're talking about diffusion light and technology and Gaussian light and all that. All that is great, but what is the problem you're solving? What benefit? So
Producing the light through laser.
yeah, but even then, what is the benefit? So you got to start
I get
thinking,
it also.
right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what you guys need to think about is you got to think like entrepreneurs. Will someone buy whatever you built? You built a chat PDF. Will you built a autonomous book? But can you sell it? Right? And there's a big difference between having built it for technology and to build it for someone to use and pay money for. Right? Because even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're not in a business, let's say you're an employee, you join a company after your graduation in Qualitas, wherever else. The company is going to be selling that technology to somebody, right? You may not doing it as a business owner or a CEO, but let's say you're a systems engineer. That work that you're doing is paying money only if he has some use for it, some value. So it is making what you're building usable and monetizable. It's called monetizable in any industry. So that is what we're going to try and teach you. You're going to learn in this fellowship. Yeah. So it's not only about technology, it's also about how you present ideas, how do you make what you're working on marketable. So what is the potential? So AI has the potential, if done right, if used in the right, solving the right problem. See, you did all this, right? But has it, what is that chat PDF or what is the project that you did? Other than you putting it on your resume, has it really contributed to somebody in need? Right? That is a question. So if you are solving a real problem, AI has a potential of almost $1 trillion to be added overall. And how it's done, it's all little. Like if maybe you can add $1 million, you can add $1 million with your idea. Each of you is cumulatively, it has a potential of $1 trillion. So it is an amazing technology. But now the question is, what does it mean for you? Right? You're a student here. You've heard about this AI. You've just come out and you've experimented. You've done that. But how do you take this forward? Now, you have to be aware of one thing, which is how many of you have heard people saying, oh, AI is taking away jobs?
Yeah, everyone heard
Yes,
about
sir.
it.
So,
Everyone's saying AI has a potential to take away. What jobs is it taking away?
so I feel the jobs which are
One which can be replaced by humans, sir. But not
Re-
all the jobs are being taken away.
Yeah.
one in which you can easily automate things like writing code or maybe generating designs for a building and or maybe optimizing the designs where instead of 3 4 people working and testing you can just use one highly skilled individual in the field of AI.
Yeah. So it may not completely.
Yeah, not
So things which
complete
are easily
automation.
automatable, repeatable, repetitive, etc. So I have this, it's a complex slide, but I won't go into the details. But if you look at different jobs, entry level to high, there are different skill levels, right?
Yeah.
Because see, everyone is spending the same amount of time. You as a student, me as a CEO, Narendra Modi as this prime minister, Elon Musk as this Tesla guy. They all have 24 hours a day, right? But what is it that's making their work more impactful is the skill level. They have higher skills, they have higher impact, right? So I have like 7 levels of skills, level 1 to level 7, but they're different ways. Level 1 is entry skills, execution focused, like your janitors, your mail clerk, food service people. Level 2 is intermediate skills, data entry, assembly line worker in factories, maybe a taxi driver, right? Level 3 is a little bit more electrician, software technicians, lab technicians. In your labs you have technicians, right? Level 4 is analytical skills, system analyst. Level 5 is professional experience, senior engineer, lead scientist, professors, right? Level 6 is leadership influence, department heads, VPs, CEOs, right? Founders of large companies. Level 5, again, you have founders of smaller companies, startup founders, level 4, 5. Level 7 is visionary leaderships, right? Large CEOs of large companies. So AI is slowly going from left and replacing not everything, but it's slowly sort of replacing the intelligence part. See, AI at the end of the day is intelligence. It's not physical. Like a janitor, mail clerk, he has to do physical labor, right? Move tools. It's not replacing that, but it's replacing the intelligence of somebody with a level 1. And it's moving quite fast. It's moving to level 2, it's moving to level 3, 4. And soon enough, there will be AI that's going to even reach level 7. Have you heard of AGI, Artificial General Intelligence?
So
Right? So AGI is slowly going to move, and it can replace like a VP of marketing. If you train an AI, it'll come up with marketing strategies. You don't need a CMO, chief marketing officer, anymore. And then slowly it'll even become a CEO, right? With autonomous agents and all that. So that day is not far away with the pace of innovation that's happening. So now you got to, and now let me ask you this. Have you heard of these guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Probably not. But have you heard of
No, sir.
have you heard of Elon Musk?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of Bill Gates?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
You've heard of Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of yeah. Now what are they? They're all billionaires, right? Billionaire entrepreneurs. Right?
Yeah.
All of these guys are billionaires as well. You never heard of them. They're AI billionaires. Like Alexander, he started a company called Scale, and it's an AI-based company, and it's worth more than $1 billion. And he's like 23 years old or 27 years old. And what's the reason? It's AI technology. I mean, this would have been unheard of in the last 5 years. So now what I want to cover and share like 5 tips to take away from an AI first world. What should you do as people looking to take advantage of this? So these are the guys who took advantage of it. So you want to be the guy who gets replaced, or do you want to be the guy that takes advantage of this? Is the question.
Advantage.
Right? You want to be the guy who takes advantage of this. You don't want to be the guy that gets. But how do you take advantage of it? That's a question. You should know how to take advantage of it. You can be a software engineer and say, I want to be the best software engineer, but tomorrow your skills are going to get replaced. Right? AI can do the job better than you. Or you can be the best business analyst, but tomorrow there'll be an AI tool that will be a better business analyst than you will be. But there will always be skills that AI will not replace. And there are skills that can make you a better engineer or a business analyst or a marketer if you're able to take advantage of AI. So what are those skills? What are those things? Number one is mastering the art of AI inquiry. Is how, even knowing how do you use AI? How do you think of AI as your genie, yes, your assistant? Now, you can only take advantage or maximize the use if you're able to take advantage of this assistant. And for that, you need to master the art of AI inquiry, as we call it. Right? Like, for instance, prompt. You've heard of prompt engineering being, how do you ask AI? So a little bit of it comes under that. Learn the art of crafting precise AI prompts rather than just executing the task. That's important. Understand how to communicate with AI is going to be as important as the job market evolves. Okay. The second is augmenting skills with AI tools. You have certain skills. You wrote code. You've done research papers, right? I mean, you're doing all kinds of things. You probably gave a presentation as part of your capstone project. You are doing a number of things. You're coding. You're writing code, right? Now, I'm talking about after you're done with your engineering and you're going to go into the job market. You'll be doing a number of things. You'll be giving presentations. You'll be writing code. You will be maybe handling small projects. Now, in those jobs that you're doing, can you augment those skills with AI tools? Can you do a much better job using AI? So become proficient in existing AI tools And there are a lot of these tools. You know how many tools making sense? Do you?
Yes, sir.
Or am I confusing you guys?
No, sir.
No, sir, it's making sense.
Right? So so augmenting skills with AI tools, we covered that. So how can you, there's so many tools, you know, have you used any of these tools? What tools have you used? Of course, everyone has used ChatGPT.
Dali, sir.
Delhi, Delhi, sir.
Dolly, okay.
Right now,
Then,
Windows Copilot comes with
GitHub
DALI
Copilot.
itself. Yeah.
yeah, Windows
In
We've
Copilot, Bing
used it.
Chat,
Yeah.
you've used those, okay. So, but do you know how many tools there are?
there are so many much
Many.
tools like
A
large
lot of
language models.
There are more than 5,000, sir.
Yeah, exactly. At least, you know, in terms of companies, there are more than 5 to 10,000 tools, and they are every day new tools and APIs, etc. coming, right? So the question is, um, how do you know, even using these tools, it's overwhelming. You know, you probably use ChatGPT, but you've probably used only 1% of what ChatGPT. Have you used it correctly? Are you making the most out of it? Are you actually using it for the best, augmenting the skills with these tools in the best way possible? Even that is a tip, right? I'm covering 5 tips of how you can take advantage of this. So if you can learn how to use even these tools or even 10 of these tools in the most effective way, that will really augment your skills. That will take you ahead of the competition. And there are so many of them. So that's tip number 2, right? Now, number 3 is how do we, there are new jobs, AI related jobs that are being created, which never existed before. Like we talked about prompt engineers, AI project managers, right? How do you run projects using AI? It's a project management role, which is specialized in how do you take advantage of AI-based technology to solve certain problems. That requires a different skills. There's AI ethics officer, because we've heard of safety and ethics in AI. So there are roles created for that. And these are all jobs that are not going to be replaced by AI. These are real human jobs. And these are the ones that are going to make your skills a lot more valuable. Another strong tip is, you know, the old ways of how your parents, or even, you know, when I started off in the job market, things have changed, right? Now, your parents probably, you know, I don't know how many of them are first-time entrepreneurs versus, or are your parents entrepreneurs, or are they job uh, employees?
Employees, sir.
employees.
Most of them are employees, right? And that's been the case, right? Even I started as an employee, right? But today, the economy is very different.
Yes.
You can, the world is changing from an employee based to a gig economy based, employee economy role to a gig economy role. You're doing the same thing. You're just not tied to any company. You're developing skills that can allow you to work from anywhere with whoever you want on whatever you want. That possibility exists today. You have that freedom. And that's freedom is very powerful. So you don't need to be, whether your job market is up or job market is down in India, nobody cares, because somewhere in the world, your skills will be needed. And there are platforms and marketplaces that you can offer your skills to. But how do you adapt? How do you make yourself available and effective in these platforms? It's a gig economy. You know what a gig economy means? Are you Does that make sense to you? Or basically freelancers, being freelancers. That's what, how do you be a freelancer? How do you be and you can earn a lot more, be a lot more effective and have a lot more freedom, work from anywhere as freelancers. But so you got to embrace that. By embracing, you got to adapt to that. That's another important tip. And of course, commitment to continuous learning. Now, things are going to change and continue to change. So what I presented to you here maybe is going to be very different 3 years or 4 years from now. Right?
Yes, sir.
But a lot of it'll not go away. It's just new things will come up. Doesn't mean these things will go away. So, but you want to be one step ahead. And the way to be one step ahead is continuously learn. So you got to have a mindset of growth, a learning mindset, continuously learn. That's very, very critical. So these are the 5 things that if you are able to implement, and with AI and the technology and following these tips is going to take you leapfrog your career. You may not be billionaires like the 3 guys I mentioned, but you'll certainly be 3 or 4 steps ahead of others who are not taking these steps. So the question is, would you like to do that? Would you like to be one of the guys who are 3 to 4 steps ahead and
Yes, sir.
learn these tips and learn how to navigate the new economy?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right?
Definitely.
So, and for that, we are starting a new AI fellow program, right? That's the AI fellowship. And so I believe that this technology, the reason why I'm reaching out to students and you get to be part of the first cohort if selected, and I believe that technology is no longer a constraint for developing really impactful, solving a lot of problems. It's not about technology. It is about spending enough time and having that commitment and following the guide. So with that, and then if you follow the guidance, you will be able to make a significant impact in 6 months, right? So we want to put that theory to the test. That's my theory, but I don't know. It's still a theory, but I believe it's possible. So we started this program where it's a gateway to AI mastery, right? So you get to embark on an AI adventure. So discovering the transformative world of AI, a 6-month deep dive, right, into different AI tools and real-world applications. So this is not a classroom session where we are giving you gyan or sitting over here. You're going to discover these tools. We'll give you some direction. Hey, go and try this out. Go and try this out. Or these are the new tools, and you will, with that direction, go and further explore, further, and remember those 5 tips that I told you. And you have the skills today, you don't need an AI master's degree. You don't even need a computer science degree. You just need a little bit of Python coding knowledge and the time, the commitment to learn, the hunger to learn, the dedication. That's the only thing that's required. And you'll be able to solve some problems. So first, it'll be expert-led learning. So 2 months of intensive hands-on training where we will give you some training. You'll take on some projects. You'll learn on some basic stuff. Okay. And after the 2 months, then you get to move into a 4-month paid internship, tackling genuine industry challenges to prepare you for the future of work, right? At the end of it, the idea is to come up with solve some real problem that you can then take out of, and you learn these 5 tips at the end of the 6 months program, right? So it's going to be direct mentorship by me. So I'm passionate about this. I want to see how I can work with maybe 10, 12 such in a group. That's going to be something that I'm because I will not be able to spend individual time with each of you, but in 10, giving you 10 to 15 is probably a good cohort. I can give you direct mentorship and help you. Then work on projects that matter. It has to be useful solutions on problems that are really that real world problems, and contributing to innovations that will shape the future, either of machine vision and AI for our company. There's 4 other companies that I'm also managing. So in each of these companies, we'll take some real world problems, give you that training, mentorship, and then put you on that track to solve these problems. And then beyond the fellowship, stand out as exceptional candidates for a potential role, either at Qualitas or, of course, anywhere else that you choose to embark your journey with, right? And you get a certificate of having completed this, right? So there is sort of a, scanner, but you've already applied, so this doesn't apply to you. But so that's the idea. So now what I feel is you guys, we're not doing an interview or a selection because I feel that we don't need that, right? In the first cohort, we've taken a bunch, we've selected based on some criteria, and all you need to do is commit to that 6 months. That's the most important. You cannot replace the time. AI cannot replace time. Time is what you have to put in. And with that, I'm quite confident that you will be able to come out successful at the end of this program if you put in the time and dedication, right? So that's the only commitment that I needed. So in a way, I would say you're just lucky. We just picked sort of randomly, right? It's not any kind of screening, etc. Because I think we don't really need any specific skill set. You just need the hunger to learn and the time. And we have a limited opening of 10 to 12, right? So, and we start either in December or Jan, depending on, some of you have exams till December. So
Yes, sir.
Jan to about June, July is when we're looking at it. So 4 days a week, 6 months is where you will have to put in the time. So those who are able to do it, we'd love to have you part of the program. It's a commitment. But as I said, this is what you will learn from this. Any questions?
Sir, I won't be able to make up 4 days a week, sir. I'll have my college. I can come
Yeah,
up to
that's
2 days, sir. I'm in first.
yeah, that's why we felt maybe 7 sem is probably the better
But I can
thing.
work
But
on it, sir. Staying very close to the office. Traveling wouldn't be it, sir. I put in time to it, sir. I also completed the assignment given to me, sir.
yeah. So anyway, we'll talk a little bit later with Gopal. I'll discuss with him and then see if something. But it also requires, like, you got to be, see, the whole program will be classes like these. So you will have to, and it will be during the working hours, right? So usually in the evenings, because it'll be time that I can free up time only during after office hours. So maybe if you're able to spend the time and then
Yes, sir, I can do it.
it's possible. Let's discuss that. But it also requires you to come and work, and it's bi-directional, right? It's not just listening to classes, but it's working on these, and then you'll be paired with others. It's not individual. You'll be paired with others, so you'll have to work out timings that also work with other students, right? So maybe it's possible. Any questions, any doubts, any I mean, does that feel free to ask any questions or
After completion of the internship, are you offering full time?
yeah, like I said, it's not to everyone, but obviously.
Like I believe in long term goals, like long term commitments. If I'm putting hard work, then that's why I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah. We have openings, full-time openings, limited. But it's certain, like I said in the previous slide, I mentioned it. After that, you'll get a certificate, and it may lead to a full-time offer. And but I'm quite confident that if you, with that training and the certificate, finding a very lucrative full-time opportunity is going to be very easy. So if
like
not,
I always believe working with a startup, you learn so many things.
yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. Like in MNC, you join, you won't learn so many things. You won't
That's
get the
right.
opportunities to explore and new things. So that's why I'm asking. Like, what's the expected CTC after like full time?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
Don't know yet. We are depending on the role. We are also trying to define different roles. See,
Okay.
people today, 3-4 years back, our offers were anywhere from 3 to 5, right?
Yes.
And but then it also went up to 15, 20. Not freshers, but in a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
In a few years. But
Yes.
now things are changing quite a lot, because even within freshers itself, I see a huge difference in skill sets.
Yes.
And freshers today are able to do what 4 or 5 years engineers can do with experience.
Yes.
But then not all freshers, and some are not able to do it. So
Yes.
it has to be based on
Your performance, right?
performance and
Yes.
your contribution, how you work, and things like that.
Okay.
But but don't look at this from a full-time perspective. If you get, okay, great. But what are you going to take one step at a time?
Yes, sir.
What can you do in the 6 months? What can you contribute? How can you take most advantage of this?
Yes, sir.
That's the mindset I think you should come up with. Because in your first 10 years, my advice to you would be, don't earn for money, earn for knowledge and skills.
Yes.
Don't work for money, but
Yes.
work for knowledge and skills, because
No.
the knowledge and the skills you will get is going to compound your earning potential.
Sir, and
Remember the skill that is going to replace AI. Now, today, somebody may offer you a job for a data entry because they need something, and you'll get quite a bit of salary. But what will you learn from that? Is that going to help you 3 years from now? The right skills takes time to develop, but those compound. But the money you earn today, it only compounds at 15%. You put it in the stock market, you get 12%, 15%,
yes, sir.
right? But the skills you will learn, the right skills, that's going to help you compound at double the rate.
Yes.
And you as students, you have the luxury of time. So take advantage of the time
Yes, sir.
and learn the right things. So if you follow that, it'll in 10 years from now, you will be far, far, far ahead.
And what you guys are working on also is very interesting and cutting edge, sir. Very excited to be a part of your group, sir.
Yeah, we're in a small way. I mean, there's far better companies as well. But yeah,
But it's
what
at
you will
the,
definitely have opportunity for real world cutting edge
yes, sir.
problems in any domain you pick. So that's the that's the key. Yeah. Any other questions? Good questions. Any other
And
doubts?
sir, in the previous slide you showed three names, right? Who were those exactly, sir?
Oh, they're AI
Any
entrepreneurs.
specifics? Oh, they're AI
They're all
entrepreneurs.
AI entrepreneurs who've made it to $1 billion valuation.
Oh, okay.
Billionaires. So that's the thing, right? So and they're going to create many more such AI entrepreneurs. That is the point of this. You've not heard of them, but it's because and they're all 20 plus years old,
Yeah. Youngsters.
youngsters. So that's the potential.
So we have to work like for how many hours per day? What will be the
Um, it, yeah, minimum of 6.
okay?
So it's a 25 hours per week is what we are. 6 into 4 days, 25 to 40,
25 hours.
up to minimum of 25. Up to that is
Yes.
really up to you how to.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I put that in the presentation. Any other?
So it's a remote or we have to come to office?
Both. It's hybrid.
Okay.
So there will be not all 4 days will be, but I would say so this is something we are also this is the first time we are, but I feel that coming to the office, interacting with your mentors is going to require at least 1 to 2 days of per week
Okay.
in the beginning. Maybe after a couple of months, we could even experiment with remote completely. But this is something I want people to have that flexibility, because if it's required, then we want people to have the flexibility to come here. That's why we're only selecting Bangalore based
Yes.
students.
Yes.
So there are a lot of applications we got outside, but we prefer only Bangalore. So after we do the first cohort, then maybe we can try remote, but yeah. So let me wrap up then by,
Yes.
do you guys remember the 5 skills? How much did you take away?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Prompting.
Huh?
Prompting.
Prompt AI inquiry.
Yeah.
Augmenting.
How do you seek knowledge from AI? How do you exploit AI? How do you prompt AI to give you what you want? Learning that. That is
Yes.
one. What is
The augmenting
Augment AI.
skills with AI.
augmenting your skills with AI? So you're doing something,
Yes.
you're writing maybe a presentation, or you're writing a blog post, I don't know, whatever, right? Or you're creating an image. How do you use AI to help you with that task? Anything. You're coding, you're writing a small Python script. Can you use AI to help you with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what else?
So, and focusing on gig economy.
Yeah, how do you embrace the
Focusing
gig
on
economy? How do you adapt? Because basically, how can you, as Rishit
Yes, sir.
or Harshit or Sakshi, how can you tomorrow be employable in the gig economy? So where you don't have to have a Qualitas or a Microsoft or a Google come and take campus interviews and employ you.
Become a
Great. If that's what you want to do, great. But isn't it better to have the option to work on anything you want for anyone you want? Having that freedom and option.
Yes.
Isn't that now? But can you do it today? Can you get employed today?
Yes.
Maybe
Having
not.
right skills, sir.
We don't know, right? You don't know how to. Maybe today you don't know. But that's what you're going to learn is how can you start building yourself, building your skills to be
Skills,
a gig,
knowledge.
to be
Yeah.
a gig worker. And it has nothing to do with your technology. It is how you work.
Commitment.
The commitment, things like that. The commitment you need anyway, right? Whether you work in a company or not, commitment is required. It's mostly skills. What else? Two more. You did three, right?
Yes, sir.
Continuous learning, that is one.
Yes.
Continuous learning. Learning the right things. See, it's not just learning. I'm sure all of you are learning.
Yes.
Nobody stops learning. You're all learning. Everyone's learning. If I ask you, hey, are you a learner, hungry? You're all students. We're all students. But are you learning the right things? That is the key thing. Even how to learn and how to learn the right things is a skill by itself. I'm also learning. But I have to prioritize what I want to learn and how to learn. If I can learn something faster, I become more efficient. So the learning. And yeah, one more.
Mindset.
Which one?
Mindset.
Yeah,
Positive.
mindset. That's having I guess continuous learning, embracing the gig economy. All that is mindset.
Okay.
Last one is just exploring AI specific jobs like prompt engineering. Like there are different roles only specific to that. We're not going to cover too much about that in the fellowship, but it's the other four that we'll be looking. How can you become a gig economy? How do you spend time? How can you learn? How much time left, Gopal? Because I know this is 40 minutes again, right? So I want to make sure. Does it show?
Show on the screen, sir.
Oh, it is not showing actually.
Yeah.
It's not showing. Okay, fine. Anyway, so we're almost done. So yeah. So what we'll do is Gopal will be in touch with all of you.
Okay.
So based on the requirements, your commitments, time, we'll have a further discussion, and then we'll just get back on if and when you can start. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All of you are from Bangalore, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You're physically in Bangalore. Okay.
Yes,
Great.
sir.
All right. So thank you. Yeah, it says
Thank you, sir.
9 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Take
Yes,
care.
sir.
Good luck. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye.
Bye.